Welcome to Source Not Found, a show about the worst versions of your favorite things. Every other week, we explore an IP, franchise, or fandom by way of its sequels, spin-offs, and side projects. Basically anything but the source material. I'm Brandon June, and I am Dash Rendar's Dorito torso. Just a nice, angular, N64 triangle man. Shoulders are looking real sharp.
You are an absolute motherfucker. Because I am Beau and I am Dash Rendar's beautiful, beautiful mullet.
Together, we are the full package.
The full package.
We got a thing for Dash. What can I say? It was one of the formative childhood Star Wars gaming experiences for me.
I don't know if we've talked about. I had both the Dash Rendar action figure and the full Outrider ship.
Oh, you did mention you had the Dash figure. I don't know if that was on the show or just in life, but I didn't know about the ship.
Yeah, I had the Outrider, and it would flip up where the command module was almost more like a B-wing.
That's sick.
It was fucking cool, man. It was like Dash Rendar and the Outrider and my Spider-Man action figure were those were my go-to toys.
Damn.
Up until I was 25 years old.
Sounds about right. So some of you know a Dash Rendar. Some of you might be wondering who this man is. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah. But if you don't know, you'll probably hear about him shortly, because this episode, we are covering Star Wars video games. Now, normally, we would cover a specific video game. That's how we function here at Source Not Found. But the fact of the matter is there's just a cornucopia of game experiences, and we wanted to kind of talk about our experience with all of those before we, in the future, kind of knock it down into individual games. Because, honestly, if we had the time, the patience, and the willpower, we could probably do 3 years worth of a podcast just on Star Wars video games. There are, I would be willing to say, over 100 of them, probably. There's so many. So many that are at least tangentially connected to Star Wars.
I mean, for May the 4th, and also, well, it was the 4th and the 5th, or the 3rd and the 4th here in Japan, but I did 2 days of a Star Wars extravaganza holiday special on my Twitch channel, where I just played I don't even know, it was probably it was over 10, between 10 and 15 hours of Star Wars games. I played almost 20 games. It was 18 or 19 games. And yeah, that's just in 2 days.
That's not even.
That was just
that's probably not even
scratching
the surface, right?
It was really scratching the surface. I had a timer set up. We would set a 30-minute timer. We would play the next Star Wars game. Followers, viewers, could vote. Do we play 30 more minutes of this game, or do we move on to the next mystery game? A wide selection. There's a lot out there. Yeah.
So I before we break into all of the individual games we want to talk about, because we do have games we want to talk about in a little bit of depth. But with this whole kind of round table system you had going on, a voting system, was there a game that was your your favorite and your least favorite, just from your Twitch experience?
Well, so that's actually going to inform my picks for today. So I think I'm going to save that.
Okay,
actually.
Cool. I love that.
Because we've brought each 3 games that we want to talk about today, correct?
Yes, we each brought 3 games. We each have a couple of backups in case there's some overlap, but
there won't be.
I'm willing to bet money there is one overlap.
Really?
Yeah, I will straight up send you something to Japan if there is not overlap.
Okay. Well, what kind of experiences are you bringing in today?
I am bringing in not my favorite experiences necessarily, but my most impactful Star Wars video game experiences.
I feel more confident in the statement I just made. Because, see, It's funny, like on the show here, we've been doing this for almost 2 years, coming up on 2-year anniversary.
Yeah,
that's
wild,
exciting. We've sort of developed personas kind of a little bit that aren't exactly linked to reality. Like, I feel like I'm developing sort of a curmudgeonly sort of reputation. Like, I'm the negative one, even though I think if you ran the numbers, like, I don't know that I hate much more than you do, but it just feels that way.
I do find it very funny that you're the curmudgeon and I am just like easily excitable. Like I just want to talk. I just want to be in the conversation, and like I'm like fucking Tigger or something. But the fact of the matter is, in reality, that's not necessarily.
Am I your?
Maybe Piglet.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'll take it. Anyway, I don't know. We're that's the other part of the Disney universe. We're in the Star Wars.
Yeah, we're not there.
Anyway, I find that you're more of a Jedi. You're more of the light side.
Fair.
And so leaning into what I've become, just little by little, giving in to the power of the dark side, I'm bringing my least favorite Star Wars experiences. Just the real dog shit from a galaxy.
I'm taking my bet back. I'm taking my bet back.
Just the worst shit I played recently. So that's why, like, on the roundup of games, like, I tried to get a wide selection of like beloved favorite Star Wars experiences, like the 10 out of 10s, fan favorites, and then some of the worst shit that's ever been created. And I thought, you're going to be bringing in like some of the favorites. They might be some of my favorites as well. And like, maybe we're the same age, like foundational Star Wars gaming experiences. I'll be talking about the ones that you might not have even heard of before. And if only you could keep it that way.
Yikes, Spike. This is going to be a very, like, literally polarizing episode, I think. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. No milquetoast fence sitting in this. No, you got to choose. Listeners, you got to choose too. You coming with me?
Okay, so here's the thing. Do we want to start with good and end with bad, or start with bad and end with good? I think we start with bad and end on a positive note.
Okay. Because I was wondering, like, yeah, are we doing like the Anakin thing, or we start good and then we get a little bad, and then we get a little good and then we get a little bad?
Or do we go original trilogy, where you start with your family getting murdered and then it ends with you murdering your own dad? Wait, hang on.
What if we started weird?
Okay.
I think I got the weirdest pick.
Okay.
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird with it. I love that.
So in my research for games to play on my Star Wars Holiday Special, I came across a 1987 Famicom, the Nintendo Entertainment System, but I'm saying Famicom because it's a Japan-only Namco release.
Okay, you're fucking cheating
Star
on
Wars
this
universe.
One. Like, there's no way I would have had this one. That is cheap.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a fucking...
I told you. Okay.
That's a
Y'all
fucking cheap shot.
Even before now, when we were getting ready for the episode, I told him there will not be any overlap. I told him twice. I warned you. This is one of 2 Star Wars games that have only ever been released in Japan. It's just Star Wars. And it's mostly based on the first film, with some levels based on the later films. And it's kind of what you would expect, like an NES side-scrolling platformer with combat, lots of bullshit flying in at you. You know, you start out on Tatooine with your lightsaber, and are just like dodging stuff, little Sarlacc pits, making your way to the first boss, which you get to the first boss. It happens pretty quickly. It's a brutally difficult game. 1 hit and you die. There's no life bar. It's a 1 hit and you're fucking done. And you only have a handful of lives. So I didn't make it very far. I had to keep restarting because I kept accidentally touching my pixel to another enemy pixel somewhere on screen, and it's over. But you get to the first boss, and it's Darth Vader. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, we just started with the lightsaber. Now we're at Vader. This is weird, but okay. I'll go with it. And then you tap Vader once with your lightsaber. You do one attack. Oh, it wasn't Vader. And actually, I kind of knew something was up, but I was confused because he introduces himself as Sasori Vader. Scorpion Vader. So you hit Darth Vader once. Turns out, no, it's Scorpion Vader. And he just turns into a scorpion. and apparently there are like various Vaders that like are manifestations of Luke's fear. And I don't know what the other ones are because the game is too fucking hard. But I think that's one of the weirdest things I saw. Scorpion Vader.
I have questions, obviously, as any sane human being would. What were they? Why would they? Okay, Japan. Like, I get it. But was it it was just called Star Wars?
Yeah, it's just Star Wars. So there were 2 on the NES, and this is the one from '87 by Namco. And it's a Namco game. It feels kind of good to control. You have a lot of cool force powers. You have like projectile attacks that you need to use because, again, if you touch anything, you just die. But it is like the difficulty that you would expect from that era of game. The thing that really kept throwing me is like I could beat Scorpion Vader, and then you rescue R2-D2, and then you're immediately thrown into like you're piloting the Millennium Falcon, and you're just in space, but like shit's coming at you, and it's not clear on like how to dodge like the TIE fighter attacks. And again, one hit and you're dead, and so you just have this like sea of
wait, when you die, do you start back in the Falcon, or do you start back at the beginning of the game?
You start at that level, but again, you have like 2 lives at that point, like I did, 2 or 3, and it's just like, oh, I just got shot like within 3 seconds. Oh, restart. Oh, I got shot again. Oh, game over. Now I'm back to Tatooine, dodging bullshit, making my way to Scorpion Vader. Yeah, it's not a pleasant experience.
This sounds like some Beetlejuice shit. Is what it sounds like.
Any bugs yet, but
no, you did. You squashed Scorpion Vader. He is a bug.
Oh wait, that's true. Yeah, that's a weird one. It's worth taking a look at.
Was this done by JGL?
Oh, LGN?
LGN. Sorry. Thank you.
Well, no, because that's like I think that's just a North American publisher, right? This one never came to the West. It's just locked in Japan.
Oh, cool. So video games then just sucked ass. Awesome. Love to hear it.
They got to not enjoy games just as much as we did.
Okay. That is a weird one.
It's weird.
So I'm going to start with the most recent, I think. For me, I was going to go with my favorite, but I think I want to end with my favorite.
Okay.
Just the Star Wars Jedi series, Jedi Survivor, and Jedi Fallen Order, with your main character played by the kid who plays the Joker in Gotham, but Cal Kestis.
What? Who are you? You're the one that's always like, oh, no, that peripheral character we saw for 10 seconds. No, that's Lachlan Monroe. I memorized his IMDb page. He was in this other series that I watched all 10 seasons of. And you're just like the fucking kid who plays that other person in that. What?
Okay.
Who are you?
So here's the thing, man. Like, they didn't necessarily... Have you ever seen a video game where they casted someone and that person accidentally was also almost mocapped, and all of a sudden their face becomes the main character? Kind of like Yvonne Strahovski as Miranda Lawson in Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
The kid's name is Cameron Monaghan.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Gotham, obviously. God, that show, Shameless. He was in Shameless, the American Shameless. Anyway, easily recognizable, but he does play Cal Kestis. The whole thing is that you are one of the last remaining Jedi after Order 66 is carried out. And you don't even really realize it in the first game. It has very good traversal. There are droids. You encounter Vader. You also encounter some of like the Inquisitor sisters and stuff like that. Like, it's a very good game. I don't want to spoil anything because it's very recent. And like,
yeah, please don't, because I haven't played these. I've been wanting to.
Fallen Order, I think, just hit PlayStation Plus recently. So you can play both of those games now for free if you are a PlayStation Plus member.
It's not really a question of access so much as time. You know, if only I had the time, if only I wasn't spending my time redoing the first level on Tatooine.
Yeah, fair.
Going towards Scorpion Vader.
But I don't know I don't know the last time I had as much fun playing a Star Wars game as I am with this. Like, the platforming and the traversal are super silly and super fun. Like, you get to use force powers to do some of that shit. They're like, you do get to use a lightsaber to deflect laser blasts. There are boss battles. There's almost like an RPG element to it. It's a very, very good time, and it does deepen the lore, which
cool.
I'm here for 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my Star Wars video game, not only recommendation, but the number 3 on my list.
Nice. I wish I had something to say about it. I've been wanting to play those.
I think you would love them.
But
I
think I would.
The lightsaber that was gifted to me by a neighbor.
Yeah.
Is Cal Kestis's lightsaber.
I remember you saying, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun.
That's pretty fun. You know what's not fun? My next pick.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Motion sickness this gave me. Star Wars Yoda Stories, a 1997, originally 97, like adventure video game. But I played the Game Boy Color port that came out in 1999.
I am not shitting you right now. This was on my list to talk about.
What the hell? Really?
Not in a good way.
Okay. Wow. Look at me being overconfident.
This was like number 7 on my list of games to talk about because I have feelings about it, not because of how much I loved it.
How did you play it?
Game Boy.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to use the Wikipedia synopsis here.
Man. I owned the cartridge.
That's unfortunate. I was going to say that's unfortunate. It is, but I owned much worse Game Boy games.
Yeah, me too.
Much worse experiences were in my little Game Boy carrying case. So it's the second and last, for good reason, in LucasArts' Desktop Adventures series, preceded by Indiana Jones and his Desktop Adventures. It is a short, procedurally generated point-and-click adventure game, at least the original on Game Boy Color. It is not point-and-click. You're just controlling your character sprite. It's a game designed for players to finish in an hour. I played for half an hour, got nowhere close to that. The game has no central plot or ultimate goal. That checks out. Each time a new game is started, the player is tasked to complete a random mission. This may include rescuing another Star Wars character, obtaining an object, warning the rebels of an attack, or destroying an Imperial facility. I'm just going to give you a little taste of the experience. So you boot this up, you get a real busted looking Game Boy Color pixel Yoda.
Yeah, it's bad.
And he gives you the following task. I guess this is what you are tasked to do. And I just want to make it clear that every single one of his statements, every sentence ends in an exclamation point. Some of them 3.
Like my dad making a Facebook profile status update. Sure.
Oh, is that what your dad does? My dad just does caps lock.
Oh.
No punctuation, just all caps.
My dad is a big fan of the exclamation mark.
Dads. Oh, dads.
Dads. You silly dads.
Hello, Luke. Troubled I am. Interrupt your training we must. Your mercenary friend Han Solo knows little of the Force, yet vital to the rebellion have he and his ship become. Why this is so is beyond a Jedi Master's understanding. No matter. Jabba's agents have impounded the Millennium Falcon on Tatooine. Again. Rescue him you must, and free the Falcon. Take this power coupling. You will need it to complete this task.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Your impressions this episode are fucking stellar.
Have I done multiple? What else did I do?
I don't remember, but I feel like there was another one earlier. But maybe it was pre-record. But that Yoda was you should be proud of yourself.
Not bad.
You should be proud of yourself. That was very good. I could not do that.
I'm always proud of myself, and that's why I'm a Sith.
Yeah, fair.
My overconfidence is my weakness. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You warp in and you're just on Tatooine. You're looking at it from like a top-down perspective and just sort of wandering around, looking for people who need things and then looking for the things they need and taking the things they need to the people who need them, and they tell you can go somewhere else now and do the same shit. You have like a lightsaber attack. Yeah,
it's like a shitty Zelda fetch quest, top-down
very
sort of
shitty
thing.
I didn't even make a connection to Zelda in my mind because that's not fair. That's not right.
Yeah.
It might technically be somewhat similar. I don't know. Your lightsaber attack is like this little fucking lethargic wiggle. It's like a little... It's like you're at a weekend-long rave festival and your friend passed out in the camping chair after like 48 hours straight of just like doing ecstasy and dancing around or whatever the kids do these days. I don't know. Dubstepping.
I was going to say.
And you jostle him and he comes to for like a second and it's like just pure half asleep, like muscle memory. Like he just like shakes the glow stick a few times and then just like lapses back into slumber. Like that's your attack. It's like just limp wristed, just and I got a little.
Buddy, I'm going to be honest with you.
And I'm done. Yeah.
Every time we record, I learn something new about you and how different I am from you. All of the words that you just said, I have no fucking relation to. Like,
I think I do.
I don't know. Maybe like I've been to Warped Tour once, but there were no glow sticks or like ecstasy. It was mostly just the whole place smelled like marijuana and people got really drunk and punched one another. Like, I
went to Warped Tour multiple times. I got to meet Fat Mike. We took a picture together. It was awesome.
Fat Mike was at Warped Tour?
Yeah.
Huh.
One of the years, NoFX was there for a while. Like when I was too young to appreciate them, they were there more regularly. But they were back one of the years I went. Yeah. Anti-Flag was there that year.
Oh, that'd be good.
It was good. It was the peak.
It's
hard now.
Maybe that's a whole different episode. Our punk rock Warped Tour experiences.
I'd rather talk about anything other than this game. This game, okay, I don't know if you had this experience. It almost made me motion sick because like all the sprites, they like blip around. It's like playing one of the old Tiger LCD handhelds.
Yeah, it sucks.
Where there's like, yeah, it's just like everything like flashes to the next like square on screen. There's not like interstitial animation. It's so like there's such a lack of fluidity and like in betweening in the animations that it really does feel like LCD Tiger handheld like blips across the screen. And like when the screen is scrolling with your protagonist as you move around these areas with you, like it's not like a flashing strobe effect, but it's almost the same level of like nausea inducement, you know? It's bad.
Yeah, it's a real bad scene.
Did you ever finish a run on this thing?
Yeah, I did. I finished several.
Okay. Is it worth it?
No, it's not worth it at all. It ends with like just the same sort of introduction you get is the same sort of conclusion you get. Like, congratulations, you've reunited Han Solo with his Millennium Falcon, blah, 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 blah. That.
Cool.
Like, it's... The reason I wanted to bring it up was because of the fact that it had, like, several different, like, generated story, like, plot hooks. And so if you could deal with its shit, it did offer several different games. Like, the mechanics were the same, but, like, you didn't hop into the next game and it's the same pathway, you know? Like, there's something to be said about the randomization aspect of the game unfortunately, everything else about it is absolute dog turd.
Yeah, I had some people come by as I was streaming it and say things like, oh, yeah, this game is actually more interesting than it gets credit for. And I can see that. You know, it's almost got like a roguelike aspect to it.
It is very much a
ways.
roguelike. Yeah.
But it's just such a miserable experience to play that, like, okay, even if there is some good stuff, interesting systems and like design happening below the surface here, like it's just even like I said, looking at it play out on a screen is such a miserable experience that I'm sorry, I can't appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the Yoda stories. I think there are better stories to enjoy.
So I was stuck between two for my second one. One was one that I hated, and one was one that I liked a whole lot. So because you're taking care of the hatred, I'm not going to do that.
But what if you did? Yes, I see it. You want to talk about the bad game.
Your fucking
yeah, okay.
Your fucking Ian McDermott voice. It's very good. So I'm going to give you an option here. Because I've got two, and they are equally weighted in my mind.
Okay.
I've got Rogue Squadron, which was, you know, Space Fighter, or the entire Star Wars Lego series.
Well, I've never played the Star Wars Lego games. I have now played, I think I played a full hour of Rogue Squadron. It was for the first time, too, on that holiday special. I was so impressed by it.
You were impressed by it.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's exceptional. But since you've already played it, and we both say it's exceptional, source it, obviously, let's talk about Star Wars Legos. Because I'm
Can I just say, oh, sorry.
No.
This is your turn.
No, please, go ahead.
I just want to say, as someone who started with fucking 1987 Scorpion Vader shit and like played a lot of Star Wars games through the years up until, I think the most recent game I played was it The Force Unleashed? Maybe.
God, that's
like
good.
The Xbox 360 kind of era.
Yeah.
Like mid-aughts. That was the first ones like this actually, like Shadows of the Empire was impressive at the time. This one, like coming in for the first time today in 2025, this feels good. Yeah. This feels like like piloting an X-Wing should feel. I was so impressed by that N64 game. Incredible. I want to play more.
I feel like there's a chance that we may talk about Rogue Squadron in an episode in the future, because I want
to play through the whole thing. Yeah.
I have lore. Like,
what? All
like
right.
you could talk about the video game and I could talk about the lore, and that could be an episode all its own.
That sounds fun. I would like an excuse to play it. I can't believe I never played this as a kid. That would have been my shit, man.
I did play it as a kid, and it was my shit.
Yeah, I can see why.
Shadows of the Empire is another thing that I really want to talk about, but it's not on my list.
Yeah, it's not on mine either. It was a formative one.
Dash, I love you. You're wonderful. You were the pinnacle of what I wanted to be when I was younger. Like, goddamn, you were Han Solo, but you weren't tied down. You had the Outrider and a droid, and that was what you went with, and I loved you for it.
Yeah. And if you only do shoulder day and get a whetstone for your shoulder blades, you might be as sharp and angular and Dorito as Dash Rendar someday too.
One day. God
real quick, because we're on it real quick. So like the Super Star Wars games on Super Nintendo were like my first Star Wars games, I think. I have a soft spot for those, even though they are very difficult and very chaotic.
Honestly, speaking with that, if I went for the game that I hated, it was going to be Super Empire Strikes Back.
That one is I think that's my least favorite. I played all three. I've played them, but I revisited them on the holiday special. And it's like, that is the one. It's just, man, like trying to ride that Tauntaun. There's just so much shit coming at you, and everything respawns. Like, this is a lot.
Brutal. It is a brutal video game not made for children. It is so hard
Jedi was also similarly chaotic, but like you have the choice to swap between like Chewie and Leia and Luke, and like you can sort of utilize their different weaponry to deal with situations in different, sometimes better ways. That was cool. But anyway, just to say, those are like formative. Shadows of the Empire was the first time I picked up a video game, and like it just drops you. Like if y'all haven't played this game for the time, like you are in the battle on Hoth, taking down, like trying to shoot your tow cable into the legs on these big walkers.
Yeah.
And like to be in that scene was so cool as a kid. Like I am in Star Wars for the first time. Not like I'm playing it on my Super Nintendo. I am here on Hoth. And that was really something at the time.
Agreed. 100% cool. Agreed.
But I decided to talk about things I hate instead. I don't know why. This is a little like, hey, the light side is still here. Like there's still some good in me. I still want to talk about good things. But this is your turn. So we should get to it.
We're going to talk about Lego. We're going to talk about Lego Star Wars. I could be incorrect on this, but I'm relatively certain. Mm-hmm. The first main like Lego series games were Star Wars based.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm relatively certain I'm not.
I'm not the one to check you. I think I played 10 minutes of a Batman Lego one once, and that's the only Lego game I played, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they had shit like, you know, like Lego whatever builders and Rock Raiders and Universe and stuff like that. But the first real Lego game that involved an IP, oh shit, was Harry Potter. My bad.
Maybe you are dark side.
Maybe I am. But Star Wars was a year after that. Just the fact that you get to play through the entire trilogy or the whatever, like you get to play through movies as Lego characters and just fuck about was delightful. And the voice acting is good. The changes in attitudes and tone, like making it for a kid. It was released in like what fucking 2005, I think.
Okay.
So like I was like 18, 19 years old. Like, yeah, I wanted to play Grand Theft Auto, but you give me a game where it's just like sheer childhood enjoyment, you're goddamn right. I'm going to love it.
Play Grand Theft Auto. No, you all remember, he was still playing with his Dash Rendar and ship for another
You're goddamn right.
7 years.
Every second of every day. Dash Rendar and PlayStation, man.
Were you playing Grand Theft Auto with Dash? Like he runs and like he, you know, commandeers a TIE fighter and flies off.
What, beats up a hooker? What are you talking about?
Oh, that's your go-to action in Grand Theft Auto. That's revealing. Interesting.
Shut up, Brandon.
I was doing the Grand Theft Auto part of it. I was just stealing the vehicle. You're into the darker shit. Got it.
But this was straight up like PlayStation 2, 2005. Lego Star Wars, the video game.
PS2, okay. I thought of those, think of those as being like a 360 PS3 series, and they probably largely were, but I guess they started then. Interesting. And, you know, at that time, there was a lot less of that, right? Like now we have so many reinterpretations of well-known IPs and franchises, and like done with like a winking at the camera, or like, you know, making it kind of goofy and a lot of like adult humor put in there. But like, I don't know, like in 2005, I want to say there was less of that. Oh, it was probably more of a novelty, right?
It feels like there's a lot less of that then.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was friendly, it was funny, it was accessible, and at the time, sometimes that's all you need. Like, I don't need the hyper violence of a Call of Duty. Sometimes I just want to play with my Star Wars friends.
Sometimes he just wants to beat up a Lego hooker.
Yeah.
And not have any pushback.
Wait, hang on. Wait.
Just frictionless transaction. Nice and easy and funny. I think we're figuring out today. Maybe I'm on the Anakin trajectory. I'm going to come out of this. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the light. I don't know where you're going.
You're turning me to the dark side, bud.
I'm not doing shit. I'm just watching it unfold. I'm not interfering.
No, like Anakin didn't have like past things he did in his childhood where all of a sudden he was like, oh my God, I'm Sith.
I mean, he killed all those Tusken Raiders. He saved his mother. Tried to save his mother.
But he did that like by choice, and then he didn't look on it like 20 years later and go, "Oh shit."
No, he didn't say "oh shit." He said, "No."
No, he said, "I hate sand."
Yeah, I hate Tusken Raiders. They're coarse. They get everywhere.
The women, the children.
Their blood gets everywhere. Stains my robes.
All right. Well, okay. What's your last one? Is this one you even remotely enjoyed?
Remotely, maybe. I think. Yes. I enjoyed the soundtrack because it's got like goofy, like cartoonish renditions of familiar Star Wars themes. I would love to play one for you right now, but you don't fuck with Disney. But maybe I'll just like after this go and give a quick YouTube search for the main menu theme of Super Bombad Racing, a 2001 PS2 kart racer set in the Star Wars universe. It kind of bops.
What the
if you're looking
fuck?
What the fuck?
What?
Do you know this one?
No.
Have you heard of it?
I have not even heard of it.
Good. It's not enjoyable. It's not a good time. Yeah, so 2001, this is like peak. Hey, we've got a franchise. Put them in those carts. Get them shooting shit at each other. There's the game.
But wait. It's Super Bombad Racing.
Oh, it's Bombad. It's Super Bombad. Yeah.
But like you're not a pod racer. You're on
little like hover pod things. Yeah.
How is this related to Star Wars?
Well, you're flying through Star Wars locations with all of your favorite. Let me get ready for this. All the stars are here. Here's your roster. And I'm going to go ahead and just I'll tell you the character name, their ship, what they're flying, and I guess their special weapon. I think that'll give you a good sense of like what this game is.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Sort of encapsulate the experience.
Sure.
Darth Maul in Sith Infiltrator, special weapon, the double-bladed lightsaber.
Okay, makes
Jar
sense.
Jar Binks in Tri-Bubble Bongo, special weapon, elasticated tongue.
Okay. Makes some sense.
Sebulba in Pod Racer, special weapon, homing junk toss.
That's crap.
Yeah, he's just tossing copies of Super Bombad Racing. Boss Nass in the Gungan Manta Ray, special weapon, blinding spit spray.
Nope. I mean, I get it, kinda. It's better than Sebulba, but barely.
Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Radiant 7, special weapon, Force Levitate. Quick asterisk, quick point. I had multiple people come into the screen and say that looks like Elon Musk.
Don't you dare come at my boy like that, for one.
I didn't say it. I didn't really see it, but I could sort of see it after they said it.
For two,
just an additional negative point against the game.
What is the Radiant 7?
I don't know. But if he looks like Elon Musk, I imagine it's a
Cybertruck.
It looks like it was cut out of construction paper, and then it kind of goes halfway through the stage, and then the wheels fall off.
But why not? Explodes. Why not just put him in the Jedi Interceptor?
Why not do a lot of things this game didn't do? I don't
know,
because
okay, my bad.
Well, we had to make room for Boss Nass.
My bad. Fair.
Everyone's favorite. You can also play as Yoda, piloting the Jedi Council chair.
And what's his special power?
Weapon, Force invert.
So what? It turns another car upside down?
I don't even fucking remember. Anakin Skywalker is in the N1 Starfighter, special weapon energy coupler. And then Queen Amidala in the Naboo Royal Starship. Blinding Light Blast is her special weapon. And those are your choices. That's it.
That's not great.
It's not great. Some of those, like, yeah, we just came off of episode 1. I get it. Capitalize on that. But Jesus Christ, it's not an episode 1 game. Like, what? Why? And if it like give me like a Qui-Gon or I don't know, like a fucking droid or something. But no, we got Boss Nass. And you know what? I'm not even opposed to Boss Nass. He's
so here's my question.
Class. Yeah.
They didn't just have episode 1 to work with. Like,
I know
they
could have apparently you can get Boba Fett as a unlockable character.
Like,
I think I was seeing
you could pull Luke, Leia, Han, Vader, the Emperor, Chewbacca, the droids, Jabba the Hutt in his barge, maybe. I don't know. Like, you have so many options you could have taken. And
you have so many options. You have 8 options here. Are you not entertained?
8 full options. It's like Mortal Kombat 1.
I mean, I guess they're assuming like these kids that just watched episode 1 and want to go home and play the kart racer, they're not going to know who Chewbacca is. And they wouldn't want to play as this lame old bowcaster wielding Wookiee. They want the new good shit.
That's horseshit because the bowcaster is like one of the most powerful.
No, I know. We know. I don't know why they didn't know. I think they knew. I think they knew better. I don't know why they did this game the way they did.
If they had played the Star Wars trading card game like some of us had, they would know the bowcaster is maybe one of the most powerful weapons that has ever existed in the Star Wars universe that is handheld.
I don't know how powerful it is against Darth Maul's big old bobblehead, though. Everyone's like super deformed. They all got like big old bobbleheads.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Tottering around. Yeah. It looks like dog shit. It looks like just in your mind's eye, construct mediocre 2001 dull PS1 kart racer aesthetic. There we are.
That's what we're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, the courses have like so many like choke points within them. It's just like a fucking chaos clusterfuck constantly.
That sucks.
It's not enjoyable. It doesn't feel good to control. It was pretty miserable. And I told you that I was running a timer. And at the end of 30 minutes, we got to vote. And I was so confident, like, well, everyone's going to vote to get out of this shit show. And I had to play it for a full hour. I don't know why people hate me. Maybe that's why I'm dark side.
Maybe.
But y'all drove me to this by doing that. Thanks a lot.
All right. With that, I'm gonna bring up my last game, my favorite Star Wars game that has ever existed.
Ooh. Okay.
First, I would like to say thank you for not just absolutely attacking me for mentioning Star Wars trading card game. You're a good friend.
What basis would I attack you on?
I don't know, but that may have been the nerdiest thing I've ever said.
Really? I don't think so.
Oh,
that doesn't even register as nerdy. But I guess because we are together.
The fact that I was classifying the bowcaster as a powerful weapon based on it being in a trading card game, I said it, and then I immediately went, oh no, what have I done?
Those who sit in front of giant bookshelves full of manga, as I currently am, should not throw stones. Those in manga houses don't throw stones.
In case you're curious, directly over my right shoulder is a lightsaber hanging on my wall.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Yeah. So my personal favorite Star Wars game that has ever existed is the Star Wars Trilogy arcade game.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming. I played this for the first time the other day during the stream. It was so impressive.
I spent so much money on this game.
I can see why.
Imagine you played it with a controller or a keyboard and mouse, right?
I played the release that came out on the Sega 32X.
Yes.
In 1994, so I was playing with a controller, yeah.
Imagine jumping into it in a battle pod at an arcade where the only control you have is a joystick, like a flight stick that has 2 separate launch buttons.
Whoa, you just unlocked like a deep memory.
One for your laser blasts, one for your photon torpedoes.
Yeah. I think I did play this in the arcade and totally forgot about it.
Yeah, no, I played...
But only like once or twice.
I played the absolute... There was an arcade in our neighborhood. In our at Mid Rivers Mall when I was in high school. The arcade was, I think it was just called Quarters. Like it was a super easy name to remember. I mean,
that's a good name for an arcade. I haven't heard that one before.
I think it was just called Quarters. And here's the funny part. They didn't have it.
Okay.
But they were connected to the AMC theater attached to the same mall who did have it.
Holy shit, Quarters. AMC Theater's eating your lunch. What are you doing?
So what you would do is you would get your tokens from Quarters and then go to AMC and say you didn't have a movie ticket, but you wanted to play games. Because they had Dance Dance Revolution and they had Star Wars Trilogy Arcade Battle Pod.
You are running an arcade and the arcade goers have to go to the theater to play DDR?
Dude, they had
what are you doing?
They had the DDR that had the diagonal steps.
Oh shit.
And not
okay.
the hexagonal or orthogonal steps.
Uh-huh.
So they had that instead, and they had Time Crisis and House of the Dead, and like they had good games, but they didn't have
collection.
They didn't have DDR, and they didn't have the Star Wars Battle Pod. And so I would get tokens from them, and I would go, and I would say, I have tokens. I'm not seeing a movie today. Can I please play video games? And I was 16. Like I maybe just gotten my driver's license, if that.
This is in Kentucky. Where were you at this point?
St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis. Okay.
Or right outside of St. Louis.
I was going to say, like, how is it? That makes more sense. Because, like, in my hometown, which is also rural, dude, the best thing my theater had was, like, the fucking Big Cabela Big Buck Hunter shit or whatever.
No,
like,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
good.
I loved Big Buck Hunter. But we were in a big suburban mall that had like a Macy's, a Dillard's, like they had big chain stores, and then like it was the first mall in the city to get like a, oh my god, what is that company called? They make clothes for skinny people.
Should I know this? I've never been one of those people.
It has an H in it.
Haagen-Dazs. Oh shit.
No, it's just like 2 letters.
That's why I don't go to that store.
I don't remember.
Hillard's. That's a Dillard's. That's a D. Wait, no, that's a Nordstrom. That's an N. It's close to an H. It kind of looks like an H.
I keep thinking like H&K or HS.
Oh, H&M?
H&M. It's H&M. They were the first mall that we. God,
why does anyone listen to this show?
They don't.
And now we know why.
This was the first mall to get H&M that I knew of in like the entire St. Louis metropolitan area. So like their arcade did not fuck about. But so St. Louis. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade Battle Pod, preferably. You walk in, all you have is a joystick with a button on top for lasers and a button at your index finger for or vice versa. I think it's button for your index finger for lasers and button for your thumb for photon torpedoes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And you play through the trilogy. You start off as an X-Wing attacking the Death Star in A New Hope. The next one,
That first level is so cool.
The next level, you're a snow speeder taking down AT-ATs on Hoth. The next level, you're on a land speeder on the forest moon of Endor. And every time you beat a level, there's a boss battle. You face Boba Fett, a Yeti, or a Wampa, and Darth Vader, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think after I think there's a secondary level on the Return of the Jedi level. So you're on a land speeder on the forest moon of Endor. Then you face something, and then you're the Millennium Falcon going through the Death Star 2. And once you blow it up, you fight Darth Vader. And Darth Vader is your final boss. And you use the joystick to control your lightsaber.
That's awesome.
It is
I didn't know we got to that point.
Yeah, because you face Boba Fett with your lightsaber as well.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking it was just purely a vehicular piloting game.
No, it's
Wow,
you're
that's
either
super neat.
You're either on a vehicle or you're holding a lightsaber through the entire series. And the lightsaber is controlled by that joystick. And man, it made you feel like you had a fucking lightsaber in your hand.
I bet. I was impressed with how good that game felt.
My goal every time was to get to a lightsaber battle. Like, I didn't care if I won. I just wanted to fight with a lightsaber.
Yeah, at that time, 1993, I think that was the original release.
93 or 94, but the battle pod didn't come out until like 299, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
I could be wrong. I think the battle pod didn't come out until like the late 90s. And that's when I discovered it. And then I got really into it in like the mid to late aughts.
Yeah.
And it just, I know this is wildly, like, I was a junior/senior in high school and I wasn't drinking booze. I was trying to play a fucking Star Wars arcade game. But man, I probably dropped over the course of 2 or 3 years. I probably dropped like $400 on this game. Like, I played it 3 or 4 times a week. If I could get to the mall, I put at least $2 in it, and I was gonna play.
Could have saved up that money and bought your 32X. Played it at home. You could have been one of the dozens.
It's just such a good game.
Yeah, like I said, it really impressed me. Like, I was playing the home release, and I'm just thinking, like, man, in 1994, to basically play this on your Genesis, like, you have to have the 32X, of course, but, like, what is comparable? Like, I had my Super Nintendo at that time. I would have been playing Star Fox, and it has a similar visual style. It's a little more elaborate, but it is just, like, light on the textures, like, polygonal, like, out in space. But, like, the fluidity, like, Star Fox being like a rails, like a non-rails shooter,
Yeah.
and like being very contained, and then like to look over and like, man, if I had had the Genesis and the 32X, I could have been just like free roaming, flying around the fucking Death Star, the exterior of it, getting down into like all of these little nooks and crannies and like crevices in that Death Star, and like shooting out these towers, and like, there's so much going on screen. Like, it is a great arcade game.
Yeah.
I only got to play for half an hour. We moved on. That was my first time was playing it on that stream, but man, what a cool game. What a cool game.
It happened, I think, like 4 years ago. Kaylin and I went to a movie theater. I don't know where we were. Maybe it was like near Disney or something like that. But we walk in and I saw the battle pod, and I was like, I love you. I'm not going to see you for a half hour.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can still play this game, but I've got $20 that says I'm going to beat it. like,
and did you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I did.
Hell yeah.
I'm old, but I'm not that old. I can still hang with games like that. Like,
no, I'm that old. I didn't get that far.
Don't ask me to play DDR right now. Like, I'm not there anymore. But
no, I might never been there. But
I
could try.
I was there for a little while. When I was done with the Star Wars Battle Pod, I'd jump over to DDR. So okay. So what do you think? Honorable mentions, last thoughts. Let's close ourselves out because we've been talking for a while about this shit.
Yeah. I was actually thinking the same thing. I don't want to end in the darkness. We need the redemption of Anakin Skywalker here. Or actually, the redemption of... So I've been recently playing KOTOR as well.
I was going to mention it, but I knew you'd been playing it.
Yeah. And I didn't mention it. We didn't mention KOTOR. This is professional negligence, I think, for a podcast about Star Wars games. I think for me, like, that's as good as it gets. Based on things I've played, I love every second of it. My protagonist name in that, only using names that randomly came up in the character like preset selection screen, June Jazra. We got a June. It's a Junn. So maybe this is the redemption of June Jazra.
That's really good.
It's a good Star Wars name, right?
It's very good. KOTOR is exceptional. I also love the Jedi Knight games.
Yeah, those are on my list to get to. I didn't get to them. I've not played those. I've heard good things.
Let me know. I enjoyed them immensely.
Next year.
I enjoyed them immensely. Maybe next year.
I guess I did check out, is it Dark Forces? The first one in that.
Yeah. Dark Forces.
Like a Doom clone. Yeah, okay. I played a little bit of that. That's about it, though.
So you did mention The Force Unleashed, which is a game that a lot of people have strong feelings about. What are yours?
What's your feeling? Mine, I
fucking loved it.
Did we get a full hour on that? Yeah, I don't remember if I got a half hour, an hour on that one. It was also first time for me. Just starting out as Vader and having a blast with like the ragdoll physics and just like flinging Wookiees around into one another, just like bowling. I just did that for a while, and I was like, I'm playing more of this. This is a very, very fun game.
I agree. I think that whole series, Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, both are phenomenal games. I don't know if we've straight up stated it, but I think Star Wars in general, as a video game series, is sourceable for me. I think there's more good than bad.
Sure. I think that's because, like, even in the bad stuff, I see the good in there most of the time. Like, even with like Yoda stories, like, there's some interesting stuff happening here. Super Bombad Racing, like, I mean, if I were 9 years old and was like a Star Wars fanatic, like looking for something on my PS2 to play with my friends, like what I was playing with my friends was Battlefront. We didn't mention Battlefront. That's like maybe the most hours I've spent in Star Wars games, probably, like as a kid playing Battlefront with my friends. That was about as good as it gets.
I didn't touch it.
That's so much fun. You never played the Battlefront games?
Yeah.
Buddy, we're going to do some gaming together. We need to do that.
Bring
It's
it.
going to rock your world. It's about as fun. It's the most fun you could have at that time, I think, on a console, just with your buds, playing in that Star Wars universe. So cool. Both of them, I even really enjoyed the reboot. That had its issues, especially when it launched. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with particularly Battlefront 2, the modern one. Anyway, but yeah, like even stuff like that I didn't enjoy, like Rebel Assault, like the FMV game, where it's like very difficult to control and just more about like memorizing the exact button presses to get through these like flying segments, and it's not really an enjoyable experience for me. But like this is very impressive in whatever 1993 to have this like full motion video, like to be in a Star Wars film with like live footage. Like there's always something impressive, almost always, either visually or like with the sound design or some little tidbit of lore that like deepens your understanding of the universe. There's usually something going on, even if the game is kind of bad, you know?
Agreed. Yeah. I think,
source it.
I think more often than not, any Star Wars game you play is going to offer you something that you have not seen before, whether it's entirely like you said, narratively based, or whether it's gameplay based. But I think LucasArts and whoever they're working with at the time normally understands that this is an IP that you do not want to fuck up. And so they try to make some really, really interesting choices and clever story beats and fun lore and mechanics that anyone can just kind of embrace. Yeah, I think this is just an easy sourceable for me.
Check out Star Wars, y'all. We've been having a great month with it. This is the end of our Star Wars journey. Next month, we're continuing to hang out with George Lucas.
Yeah, we
actually.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But we're getting a little more grounded, a little more undergrounded. With some Indiana Jones action.
Yeah, we are. We're reading Indiana Jones and the White Witch.
Yeah.
Is that title right?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing that.
And we're going to follow that up with The Great Circle, which I played when it came out last year. You're just now getting to it because it just released on PlayStation for you.
It just released on PlayStation for me.
So read along with us, play along with us.
Yeah. Good times. Housekeeping stuff. My brain just like full on blanked. Drop us a line at sourcenotfoundpod@gmail.com. Let us know your favorite Star Wars video games and your least favorite Star Wars video games. What you like, what you didn't like, all that good stuff. You can find us at all of the social medias at Source Not Found or Source Not Found Pod, Facebook, Insta, Blue Sky. And then we also have that lovely Patreon where we do some crazy shit. And honestly, I think this past month may be my favorite one we've done.
Yeah, we just did another Phobia Goria where we revisited one of my childhood traumas, the Ewok Adventure. And it's one of my new favorite episodes. I had a great time.
I do find it funny that the movie's title is Caravan of Courage, and it is your Phobia Goria. Like, it's just fucking
I was thinking about that. I showed great courage in mustering the resolve to revisit it and confront the Gorax after all of these years. And we discovered it wasn't the Gorax. It was the
everything else.
Mostly everything else, but also the Gorax. Yeah. So patrons got to experience that. Speaking of patrons, we love you all so much. Thank you so much for your support. In particular, to Frederick Viberg Vorhog, Susie Daggs, Jacob Swindell, 13th Horseman, and Joey Bishop.
Friendship.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you oh my goodness, thank you so much for continuing to support us through all of this bullshit that we do.
Additional thanks to Jesse Jelena,
St. Coelacanth,
creator of our theme song.
Which
check him out on YouTube.
Slaps
lots of good
so
stuff.
hard.
More of that, where that came from. Definitely check him out. You can also check out our YouTube for playthroughs that I've done of games we've covered and archives of the show.
And then with that kind of comes tangentially, Brandon, what's going on Twitch right now, my guy?
Yeah, I mentioned it a lot today because I had, so much Star Wars I did recently. If that piqued your interest, come check me out. Twitch.tv/LejuneBug. Link down in the show notes. We moved on from Star Wars. Right now it is Metal Gear. Because I love bad puns.
Yeah, you do.
So we're playing Metal Gear games. Well, if you like that one, we go from Metal Gear into Hideo Kojima. More Kojima games. Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima got the Legion Bug bump. There's a reason Hideo Kojima is releasing Death Stranding 2 in the month of June. It's not a coincidence. I am convinced he heard what I was doing and said, I'm going to lean into this. I like what I'm hearing.
Overconfidence is your weakness. Fuck me, that made me cry.
This is a lot of fun. I loved hanging out in Star Wars. I loved hanging out in this a long time ago with you. Maybe we'll do it next year.
I think
there's a lot more to do.
There's so much more to do. I think next year we don't even touch a movie.
Maybe
we hit
some books,
we hit like in some old school Timothy Zahn book.
Oh hell yeah.
And a random ass game, maybe Rogue Squadron, who knows? Because none of that shit's canon now. So we can say whatever we want and the mouse can't touch us, man.
Right?
Disney can't come at us for any of this shit if it's not canon.
We're free.
We're free to fly whatever freak flag we want.
Get out those trading cards.
Don't forget to check your toilets for those weird ass Yodas.
Freddy Krueger there may be.